Hola, soy Julio César Chávez.
And lights out, baby. Lights out all day.
This is Sugar Ray Leonard, and you listen to Fight Net Radio.
I mean, this is ridiculous. It's a radio show. It ain't a one-hour television spectacular.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
We gon' know. I got eyes and ears everywhere. I got friends all over the world, man.
Who gives a shit with Whitey's a piece of crap.
With a tear in my eye.
Everybody, welcome to Fight Net Radio. My name is Lee Honish. I am joined by Andrew Lapachet. There you go. Old school, Andrew. There you go. Look, P.O.D. Sorry, I was just feeling it. Andrew Lapachet, Miguel Antonio Barragan. Follow him at Fight Fiend Migs on both YouTube and the Instagram. You can follow at Andrew Lapachet online on social media. My name's Lee Honish. You can follow me at Lee Honish. You can also go to my website, honish.io. Find out about all the Perfect Blue Studio shows that are produced. Just updated my website. FightNet's next on my list, so it's going to get a new look and a new website very, 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 very soon. With that said, Happy New Year's, gentlemen. I start with you, Miguel. Did you rip it up for New Year's?
I did not, and not in the slightest. I was scheduled to work the New Year's Day, and then like literally 2 days before, we're like, "Hey guys, or my job was like, hey, so we're gonna be off that day." Surprise! It's like, all right, great, thanks for letting me know. And I made zero plans. So yeah, I mean, I wasn't like I was gonna go out, and be in a big crowd anyway. But nonetheless, it was kind of last minute that I got the day off, so I was like, all right, whatever. But no, I absolutely did not. As a matter of fact, I fell asleep before midnight.
Actually, I'll share that story. So, very accurate, very close to mine. Andrew, owner of multiple kids, did you make it at least to 11 o'clock?
Yes. Yeah, we were able to stay up. None of the children did, though. It was just me and
No,
Chris.
of course not.
Yep.
That's nice. Did you do anything special? Did you pop champagne? Or is she still doing the old school move of making sure to kiss you at midnight so she'll be kissing you next year?
Yeah. All of the above.
And she says that every time, doesn't she? Doesn't she? She strikes me as one of those. I had one of those once. I went out. I was with a young lady for New Year's Eve. I will admit to that. She made it all the way till 10:30 before she drank too much, and that was the end of her evening. Let me tell you about the old Lee, which you guys have both been a part of. Miguel only knows me as a drunk. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, pretty much.
Andrew knows me the other way. It's like it used to be, Andrew. I'm the only guy awake at midnight again. Jesus. Being sober is lame. I forgot about New Year's. Oh, well. Life goes on. Sober me, sober life, sober wife, sober life, happy life. I think I'm going to find somebody who drinks heavily again. I am seeing the advantages of that. It really cuts the evening short and extends my evening. I'm sorry, just talking out loud for me. Welcome, everybody, to Fight Net Radio. This is about boxing. It is the final day of the football year, so let's check in. Andrew, how did your Raiders do this year?
Yeah, it's a bad year. I don't know. I'm trying to get in a box rec. For some reason, they're not letting me fucking in. I don't know what's going on there. Lee, we're 8-8. We were 6-3 going into the easiest part of our schedule, and today we're 8-8. Someone needs to be fired. I don't know who. If it was me, it'd be multiple people, not just the defense coordinator. I don't know what Las Vegas is going to do, and that's Las Vegas's problem now. Their fans get to deal with this bullshit now. Today didn't even watch the game. Yeah, we got busy watching something else, and I said, what the fuck for? What are we watching for pride, or what do they say, playing for pride or all that shit?
Playing for pride, man. It is.
Yeah, I'm not watching for pride, so I was out. I checked out today. Yeah, fuck.
Well, as you know, Andrew, I have two football teams. One of them did not fare so well, and if they don't fire Anthony Lynn, I may not buy season seats, even though they're giving them away for next year. My other team, on the other hand, that plays football in the same stadium, Andrew, guess what? They won and they're in. What? And so I got a dog in the fight, at least for
1 week.
playoffs. Well, for those of you who don't know anything about American football, I have to say that because we have an international audience. They added an extra round. They added extra teams this year into the playoffs. And so we're having what they call now Super Wildcard Weekend, which means 3 games on Saturday, 3 games on Sunday. And to be brutally honest, my nipples are hard as a rock, excited about the playoffs because I'm just that much closer to a trip to Vegas. Is it true, Miguel, that like it was crowded in Vegas for New Year's Eve?
That is a good question. I have no idea because I have not left my friggin' house.
I seen some pictures. It wasn't crowded, but there was definitely people on the street, Lee. It wasn't
they did
Vegas
open up the street
crowded
for that
though.
stuff. Yeah, exactly. I do remember seeing that or hearing about it. But yeah, I mean, nowhere near like past New Year's, which I have been down to the Strip. As a matter of fact, that's kind of my usual. I do tend to go to the Strip and just kind of walk around and drink pretty much. But yeah, this year, no, none of that. I wasn't about to be around other people. Fuck that. And then, didn't even make it to midnight. But from what I've heard, yes, it was crowded, just not like before.
Well, there you go. Now you guys are all caught up on our goings and comings for the past week, and we're into 2021. And you know what? 2020 is now an afterthought. Hindsight is 2020. Get it? Hindsight is 2020. Okay. Didn't everybody see that meme? Like, was everybody so excited to write it? 1201, hindsight will be 2020. If I wrote jokes like that, we would have even less of an audience. With that said, we do have boxing to discuss. Today we will be using boxing news, but I want to discuss Andrew's text message. Andrew went off earlier in the week about... you were all gung-hoed earlier in the week. So we'll start right there. Triple G was out soon as Tyson Jones pay-per-view numbers dropped. Oh, so we're talking about Okay, so for those of you who don't remember the show last week, I said, once again, in my Tony Stark / Nostradamus kind of way, I said, Oscar's going to fight Floyd Mayweather. Well, apparently Boxing Scene liked it so much that they wrote a full article about it with nothing backing it up, which is hilarious, Andrew. It's basically somebody who listens to the show thought, oh, that's an interesting idea. I'm going to write a story for Boxing Scene.
Yeah, cool. I don't know where they got it from, though. This started 2 weeks ago when the numbers dropped for Jones Tyson. I'm sorry. Triple G, he's not generating 1.2 million pay-per-view buys at this current time, but somebody like Floyd Mayweather and Oscar De La Hoya potentially could. That's what Jones and Tyson showed them. And so, yeah, I mean, I think Triple G was out as soon as those numbers came in. $80 million they said Tyson and Jones made. Yeah, right? Fucking 50 years old. I think De La Hoya and Mayweather, I don't even see the YouTube guy, the Paul guy, getting Floyd. If these numbers are real and De La Hoya is willing to do a fight, I think we're about to see De La Hoya versus Mayweather too. Uh-oh.
Already.
Oscar heard.
What the hell? It sounds English. Hold on, let me get that. Hello? Whoa! Never talked to you before. Yes. Thank you, Eddie. Yes, understand. Luke Campbell is going to knock out, King Rye. Right. Thank you. But the fight's already over and he already... Okay. It's going to knock him out, no question. Thank you again for calling. Thanks. There's a time delay between here and England. I guess that's an old phone call. It's a funny joke.
You're so stupid.
I liked it a lot. You realize that when we had the production meeting and I asked that question of Sam, whether or not the bit was getting old, and he went, no.
Hasn't
that you were going to get at least another full round of that. I mean, seriously, wait, hold on. We can keep at this all day.
No.
English phone call again. Wait, I'll get them all out of the way right now, Andrew. You ready? Hello. Ooh, cool hand, Luke. You're gonna knock out King. Dude, there's a delay. I don't know when you sent this call. I don't even know how that works. You lost. Yeah, you knocked him down. That was super cool. No, thank you for calling. Would have been great on the show last week. Thank you.
Oh, Jesus.
Hold on. Let me get that one. I think we're almost done with this. Hello, United States. Oh, Maloney. You're where? The Falklands. Into how did Bob send you home exactly? By blimp. Blimp. That's original. Okay. I know you're still crying. I know. Really sad, bro. Really, I know. And he sent you home on a blimp. Okay, you have a safe trip back to Australia. You know, it's been a couple of weeks now. Oh, it's only been 2 days for you. It's like watching Tenet. All right, cool. Thanks. You take care. That was a super hip reference to a movie and a time delay joke while using an English ringer and making fun of Maloney. And if I have to explain the jokes, I like meta humor. I think there are probably 5 people who like my meta humor. And then everybody else goes, get to the news stories already. It's funnier when you read the articles. Okay, fine. We'll read. We're going to do reverse order. We're using Fight News again. Let's take it backwards from where we left off last and see if there's anything that you guys need to be made aware of and bring the insight of these 2 geniuses. Can't say enough going into 2021. Executive producer, Miguel Antonio Barragan, and producer, Andrew Lapachet. I was recently talking to someone, Andrew, and they were talking about Perfect Blue Studios. And I said, I got a producer. He goes, how do you know he's the producer? He said, I do all the work and we just give Andrew the name producer. And it works out really well. Okay. Let's see if there's any news that we missed whatsoever throughout the week. I didn't really go through the stories because I assumed nothing happened on New Year's week. But this one pops right up. Khan's ready for a showdown with Brooke. Is there anybody on the face of the planet who's interested in this fight? Oh,
Uh-oh.
Goddamn UK ringer.
Uh-oh.
Hello. Oh, this is Khan. Interesting. You're interested in the fight. How are you listening to the show? Isn't there a time delay? I mean, that was the joke from the other 2 guys who called. What? Oh, you want him to get hit in the head? Yeah. I understand. You want his. Yeah. I can't repeat that because Andrew gets mad when I talk about large African. He's returning against fast-rising knockout artist and Olympic silver medalist. I know, Amir, little guy, small peepee. Got it. Thank you. Thanks for calling, ma'am. Okay, found one person interested in this fight. Amir Khan, Kell Brook, Eddie Hearn. About multiple appearances for Clay Collier. What is it about Amir Khan and Kell Brook that seems to delight the fancy of the UK boxing fans? I start with you, Miguel Antonio Barragan.
I still think it's just nostalgia. It's just like these guys are just, people think like this was kind of a thing for a while back, when several years back, and we're like, oh shit, we might get this, and then it's not gonna, once I think this was talked before Khan fought Canelo, and then he got knocked the fuck out. So and then Crawford came, and then it's just like, all right, we're not even interested in this fight anymore. But I think it's kind of like one of those last ditch efforts. Just let's get these guys in the ring, just kind of like as a WWE like loser goes home fight kind of deal, like loser retires, some bullshit kind of deal. But I mean, I think it's just the fact that 2 English guys that have been at each other's necks for who the hell knows how long at this point, and haven't been able to come to an agreement at this point. I think they're just grasping at straws, and this is the last ditch effort to get the fight done. But I mean, that's really the only thing, is just people remembering back in the day when this fight was actually going to be worth something.
Andrew Lapachet, what do you think of Khan versus Brooke? I know Mrs. Khan is very excited, and she's certainly hoping for brain damage and large back African Americans
He
with large
couldn't even
penises.
say it. Made him stutter.
I couldn't even say it either. I couldn't.
They should do it now, so when no one shows up, they can say it was because of COVID. No one cares about these two anymore. I don't know if in the UK they still care about this fight. But to me, the sale has shipped on this one. This one's done with. Khan is past his prime, and Brooke took a retirement check in his last fight. So I don't know if these two, they might fight. Lee, like I said, they should do it now. Blame it on COVID. Put it in an empty arena. Hopefully, you guys get some ratings and move on with their life. But as far as them selling out some major arena out there and this being a big showdown, no. That's gone.
Yeah, there you go. Moving forward, the WBO mandatory challenger Sean Porter says Top Rank needs to make a better offer if they want to challenge the WBO.
Oh, there's some news. There's some news.
Joining us on the studio line. Happy New Year, Bob. I know. I don't sound a damn thing like Bob. I know. But Andrew now hears this voice in his head when he reads a Bob Arum quote. And to me, that's funny enough. Yeah. Happy New Year, boys. Here we go. I offered Porter, I don't know, a bowl of soup, a couple of hookers, and a trip to Vegas. And would you believe this fucking guy said, I'm not taking $1 million. Good. I didn't offer you $1 million. You're a piece of shit. Jesus. He then went on to say, I did the best I could do to send a message to Bob Arum and Top Rank and tell them, hey, don't disrespect me, blah, blah, blah. Move, lips, yada, yada, yada. Here's my response. I'm going to do it live on your show for you. Please do, Bob. Getting really weird that I'm doing this two-person now, Bob. Shut up. Listen, Porter, you were a never was,
Seven
who was
Robinson.
a has been, but never was.
8
And
Langford.
honestly, you couldn't wipe Jack Johnson's spit off the match. Jack Johnson? Yeah. First guy promoted. I know. We're still going with you're 127 years old. I get it. I get the joke. A lot of people get the joke. It's funny. But, Bob, this is a good fight for you. Nah, fuck him. You know how many Porters there are out there? He can go fuck himself sideways. In fact, here's what I'd like him to do. I'd like him to bend over so I could stick a broom up his ass so he at least can sweep on the way out his door.
Thinks on the downside of his career. So
Thank you, Bob.
I think it's a little bit of
turn
a
out to
risk.
you.
But
Andrew, did you get joy out of that, Andrew?
yes, that was very good.
Andrew is only at 40.
Um,
Chavez, 39.
With the
Look,
actual
look,
quotes
on
this
zone
time,
is
I'm
only-
getting better at it.
I don't know how. Listen, I'm not in the business side of boxing. I hate to tell a man, where to take $1 million, when not to take $1 million. His last fight, Miguel, he made $1.2 million, correct?
Yeah. Against Formella.
Formella. So what we're looking at here is a $200,000. So he's willing to skip out on $1 million because of $200,000. Because in my eyes, look, you don't get a raise just for fighting. You don't get a raise just for beating a guy named Formella.
Title shot.
He made $1 million
His last defeat was
and
to
a
James
half.
Miguel, and
I believe when he fought Spence, he lost that fight. That was a few years ago. He's really done nothing since then. I just don't know where the argument comes from. We're in a time right now where there's not a fan. We can't sell tickets. It's $200,000 less than what you made in your last fight. You're on the tail end of your career. it's $1 million still. Like like I said, I'm not on the business side,
Sandy
man. I don't know.
what
To me, I would have.
I remember
To me, this
Sandy.
does not seem like a low ball
Hell of a
offer.
fighter.
Once again, you don't get a raise just because you're fighting. You don't get a raise just because you won. He should be happy.
He's a genius.
You're a
genius.
Well, what they're saying is Bob's a genius because this is going to go to a what is it when they can't
arbitrator.
No, the purse bid, no?
A purse bid, yes.
Which is an arbitrator.
Yeah, you're right.
Makes
You're
me
right.
sound super arbitration at this moment.
And Terrence Crawford's going to get the bigger piece of the pie, and he's going to come in having to pay him lower money, or less money, excuse me.
And he won't take the fight. He
won't take the fight, and you move on with PBC, and yes, he'll bow down to Al Heyman, pull his pants down, and bend over the table. I get it. I just don't know. Low ball offer. I think it's kind of a joke, a low ball offer. Like, dude, you're lucky you're making $1 million right now during this COVID time. There's a lot of people out here not making anything. You're over here like, $1 million? Hell, the last fight I made $1.2 million. And? Listen.
I agree.
This isn't about fucking checks just being written by Al Heyman anymore. You fuck around with ESPN and Bob Arum and these guys.
Caleb Truex fighting nobody to defend their title.
Caleb versus Caleb.
Anybody excited to see?
And I really fake money is a bad way of saying what they've been doing over at the PBC. But the PBC has been writing fucking blank checks for a while, right? They didn't care who was in the ring. Everybody was making $1 million. Those days are gone. Now we want to see freaking butts in the seats, and who is Porter? I've never had anybody, casual fan in my family or a friend, come up to me and ask me about Sean fucking Porter. And today I'm supposed to argue that he deserves more money. Get out of here.
Well, you've ensured on Monday that you've got a couple of people that will ask you about Sean Porter.
We'll see. Just, he doesn't move the needle. He lost his title shots. I don't know where the guy comes off thinking he deserves more money than the $1 million that they're offering him in a time like this right now.
Yeah, fuck him. Was it 7 or 8?
Oh, 7 or 8.
I don't have to say it.
Yeah,
Bob Arum and Crawford did. They'll move on. They will continue to make millions of dollars. Porter won't. Porter's going to run it. Dude, all these PBC guys are going to run out of options here very soon. And you watch how fast this story turns for a lot of these fighters. Hey, wait a minute. I'm not in my prime anymore, and I'm not Floyd. What the fuck happened? You told me. Oh, those stories are going to start. Then we're going to start hearing about how much of the percentages Al Heyman was taking out of these checks as being the fucking manager and the fucking promoter and just about the guy, the fucking Wizard of Oz behind it all. We'll see. But yeah, right now it's all good. They all got the lifestyles. They're all living the life. See Danny Garcia? See where he was on New Year's?
Oh, no. Where was he?
Boat.
Oh, jeez.
With his sisters.
With the twin sisters.
With the twins, baby. No, just kidding. The whole family. It was probably the whole family.
Devastating knockout artist.
But he's on the boat.
By every
living the life.
body. Has a blank canvas.
Oh, Clarissa.
He got a man. Clarissa got a man, too. She blows him up, too.
Oh, what?
I wasn't on the boat.
Clarissa got a man.
Does she really?
Yeah,
Yes.
kind of. Got a small pee-pee.
Significant other.
Pee-pee's funnier than penis or cock. Pee-pee is always funnier. And when you have a small one, it's a pee-pee. Hey, Happy New Year.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't be the most confident thing to hear in the bedroom. Mom, bring that pee-pee to me. Oh, damn it. Damn it. Let me see your pee-pee, big boy.
Yeah, let me touch your pee-pee, big boy.
Let me touch your pee-pee.
I really wish I could name this show. Show me your little pee-pee. That would be the greatest title for any one of these shows ever written. Miguel, before I pass out from maybe the single greatest joke I've heard out of Andrew in quite some time. That was very good. Andrew, strong for 2021.
We're off to a good start.
Strong. You're off strong. You're Miguel, what do you bring to the table about this Crawford
Never even fight anyone
fiasco.
because of Canelo doing
I
that.
like. I think roughly about $1 million is what what's his name, Porter, seems to make. That's what he made in his last couple of fights, even with like Ugas and whatnot. It's like
there you
1.25 or something. So it seems to be kind of like the average. When I first read this, I immediately thought like, no. Let me think. This seems to be some sort of lowball offer, right? That's what came to mind as my first instinct. But of course, you have to think about it, and you're like, all right, let me just do a little bit of research. And I even saw his fight with fucking Spence. That was more than that, but he did bring a championship to the table at the time. He was a WBC champ, and he unified with Spence. So that made more sense that he would get paid more for that one. This one, he's the mandatory here. He's coming off a win, but against Formella, for fuck's sake. This after some careful thought, this probably seems like a pretty reasonable offer. I think he's kind of, to quote Andrew, he's like drinking the PBC Kool-Aid, man, big time. Like he really thinks like, no, I deserve way the fuck more because he's been paid God knows how much for fighting guys like Formella and Ugas and whatnot. So I don't know. This does seem like a fair offer after some thought, but Porter's getting a little inflated here, I think, to be wanting more. He is getting a crack. This is going to be the first, if I'm not mistaken, the first PBC welterweight to get a crack at at Crawford. So it's like, dude, take the $1 million. If you end up winning, who knows? You may, that could lead to bigger fucking paydays down the line. And you have the claim that no other PBC welterweight can say is that you took the fucking, you took on Crawford and you beat his ass. That's kind of a big deal. This is one of those risk things, like take that risk assessment, take the fucking $1 million and go after it.
For 200,000 less, ooh, big risk here. Like, I just don't get it. I know I'm not on that side of the fence, so I wouldn't understand what maybe his argument is. To me, it's like, yeah, $1 million. Yeah, when I wasn't making anything, great. $1 million. That's great.
Yeah, to fight for a champ, and then like the bragging rights. Imagine if he does beat, Crawford. Look at that. Like, look at how that'll look to Spence. Be like, look, motherfucker, this is how it's done. We take the fucking fight and we do it.
And you're absolutely right, Miguel. It opens the door to any rematch he wants. All those rematches that he keeps screaming for, the door opens for all of them. He's in the driver's seat. So
yeah, and he'll be like asking for more. He can get at that point potentially more for not just winning a championship from Crawford here, but taking that taking that O from Crawford. That's a big deal, dude. That's step up, do it, just take it and fucking do it.
$1 million to fight for, or 1.2 to fight for Mella, just seems like an easier path. I'll pass.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, he's pissed.
Hello. No. No, this is legal. Whoa.
Whoa, what the?
That's crazy. Rang my cell phone too. Yeah, it was shocking. I don't know why you rang both phones. Oh, Mauricio. Huh.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, no, we've only talked the one time at that event. I never thought you'd use any of the phone numbers I gave you, bro. Never. Never. Well, let me tell you, Mauricio, I'm in a studio right now pretending to hold up a phone and pretending to talk to you at the moment. What are you doing? Oh, wow, that's really interesting. I will let them know. Thank you. He would like to make a belt for that fight.
The COVID relief belt. Do we have a COVID belt yet? God damn it, Mauricio. Here it comes.
COVID stimulus. It's the stimulus belt.
Yes.
The stimulus belt. It costs $600.
$600 to make, baby. Exactly. Those are real jewels on there.
Moving forward, kids. Jake Paul rips brother in his exhibition fight with Floyd. Well, there's a shocker. Logan Paul is a fake fighter who has no business being in the ring with Floyd Mayweather. So says Jake Paul. He tells TMZ Sport the dude is fucked against a 50-0 boxer. Of course, the YouTube superstar is set to face off against the best ever in an exhibition on February 20th, a fight that has been met with mixed reactions. Oh, there's more. Well, let's find out what more is. How far does this go? Jake, who's fresh off an insane KO of ex-NBA star Nate Robinson, thinks Logan is pretty much doomed against Floyd and believes the fight is doing more harm than good. My brother is fucked. Jake tells us. It's bad for the sport, and I think it's just for clout. You think. Paul is echoing what Canelo Alvarez recently told us, saying that he thought it was a lack of respect for pros to go up against YouTubers. Jake goes on to say that the real fighter in the that he's the real fighter in the family, pointing out he's got a 3-0 record, while Logan still hasn't racked up a win. I wish him the best of luck. I just don't get in there with guys who've never been knocked out. He's been knocked down once, and it was by accident. Yep.
No, that's why he doesn't want to get in the ring with Floyd, because he's never been knocked out. Oh, okay.
Okay, so hold on. So
Mike Tyson's been knocked out, so I guess Jake thinks he could get in the ring with Mike Tyson, right?
Of course he does.
That's the logic. Yeah.
Yeah, Tyson's been stopped, so fuck it.
Help me with the logic here. So a YouTube brother who's had 3 wins against nobodies. I mean, Jesus, Andrew, we could make you 3-0 if we wanted to next week.
Could make you 3-0. Don't rag on me. How about you? Make you 3-0.
Actually, I could bring up my share dog. I think I'm technically 3-0.
Hey, no, seriously, Lee, I'm going to tell you right now, they're going to fight each other. The two brothers, they're going to put on the exhibition fight against each other. Yes.
I didn't see that coming. That's a good Nostradamus.
Oh, come on. The whole YouTube, they're fake as fuck. It'll be a fake fight. Don't get it twisted, but all their fans will watch. It'll do millions and millions of little fucking
It'll be an exhibition fight. It'll be a sparring fight, basically.
Yeah. Yes. All the brothers that hate each other will be smiling. I always wanted to fight my brother. Might be some brother fights that night.
That's funny. That's how could you make an all brother card like the Charlos fight each other? We found out on Saturday. What is it? The Gutierrezes aren't.
If I'm not mistaken, haven't these two had it out with each other on YouTube before? My daughter's young. Don't act like I follow this, but I might have to call her. But I could have swore a girl got in between these two boys before. Is that true? Am I hitting anything?
I don't even remember. I only found out about these dudes recently.
Yeah, I want to say they've already had a beef on their little things. They did some songs against He's a Dora!
Oh my God, we're calling in an expert.
Yeah, because I think that's what they're going to do. Floyd's not going to happen. Floyd's got bigger fish to fry. That's named De La Hoya. Oh, that fight's going to be awesome. I'm telling you. Jake Paul and Logan Paul. Didn't they have a beef with each other back in the day, a girl?
Not over a girl, but yeah.
Oh, what was it over?
A girl.
They made diss tracks about each other.
Diss tracks, so it was songs. Okay. Yeah. So see, these guys have already done this before.
So should we start our own diss tracks amongst ourselves so we can fight for $1 million?
He was hanging around with the Tyson Jones fiasco, right? So he sees how it's done, right?
Yeah.
Hey, you just do a bunch of body shots, you do a few head shots, you take it, I take it, nothing hard, make some money. What the fuck?
Miguel, do you have any input?
I mean, this does seem super fake. Like just reading some of this shit, it's like he's saying something like, "Oh, he believes is doing more harm than good." Talking about Jake saying that about fucking his brother Logan. It's like what? And what the fuck was your fight with fucking Nate Robinson, bro? What the fuck was that? You give a rat's ass about the fucking.
He was saving boxing.
Yeah, it's like get the fuck out of here! Come on now, that's just it's all. I mean, this is like seriously.
Well,
like
he was the most memed fight of 2020. I mean, let's be honest. He did get one title for boxing this year. He was the most memed fight of 2020 by far.
Yeah. Yes. I do think that the Mr. Nate Robinson had something to do with it by proclaiming he was going to win for all black men and he said a lot of crazy things going in that they've never. I forgot all the shit he was talking, but that man was talking a lot of shit to go in there and get hit with 2 shots. Yeah, so it was kind of bad. Nate Robinson kind of brought that on himself too. It wasn't all just Logan or Jake, excuse me.
There you go. Moving forward, good story. Didn't think it'd get that much mileage. Triple G versus Jaime Munguia in the works. It should be Munguia, shouldn't it? Shouldn't it be Munguia? Is it really Mungai or Mungia? I turn now to our Mexican analyst. Mungai or Mungia?
Mungia. So it's
Yes.
it's as if
Why do they pronounce it
the-
Mungai? Or is that just Andrew who calls him Mungai?
Hey, shut up.
I don't think it's just Andrew. I've heard it pronounced that before, but I don't think it's just Andrew. Yeah.
Hey, and that the Dazin, the zone thing is even carried off the air with me. Everyone's all correcting me. Hey, you always mess that up on air too.
Because I called it Dazin originally. I printed it.
That's
Triple
what I
G
thought
to
it
take
was,
on
too.
Jaime Munguia.
Mungia.
It's in the works. Promoter Oscar De La Hoya told FightNews.com, rest in peace, Flat Top, that discussions are at an advanced stage for a clash between IBF middleweight champion Gennady Golovkin and the unbeaten former junior middleweight title holder Jaime Munguia. Both fighters interested and willing. That's all you said, Oscar, to Fight News? I mean, seriously. Both fighters interested. Hold on, let me get Oscar. Oscar.
Oh.
Hold on. Hold on. Hey. They're interested, okay? Stop making a thing about it. That's it, Oscar? Like, you sat out there in my front room eating my fucking pretzels with the peanut butter in them. Yeah, you're out, bro. Thank you, Oscar. But we needed like a serious comment. I know you didn't give Fight News much, but can you tell us about the fight? Yeah, bro. Both fighters are interested, okay? That's not really... How do I explain this to you, Oscar? Have you been hit in the head recently by a brick or a large object, or is there a spoon currently lodged up your ass adjusting your brain? Shut up with the spoon thing, bro. Right?
Hello?
Apparently
did we lose
he's
it?
done. He just left. He just left. For no reason. He just got up
All right.
and that was it. Was mumbling something about finding some peanuts. We're lucky he'll be back.
All right.
Well, according to Oscar, both fighters are interested and willing. Duh. I start with you, Andrew. Duh. Does your daughter still say duh, Dad?
No. It's a good fight. Listen, for both guys. Triple G's probably, I would stay away from Canelo right now. They look to be moving apart from each other skill-wise. Triple G is getting a little bit older now. Age is starting to show on him. Munguia, I don't know if he's ever going to be ready for the elite fighters. I've been asking for him to get one of these shots here for a while now. You can see his record is 36-0-29. But it's not just the number of fights that he has. It's the fact that it just looks like he's the same fighter in every single fight. So why waste his brain cells on these nobodies? And let's get him some real fights, some real money. And if he wins and he moves on. And if he doesn't, well, you know, at least he got a real check before it all ended. 36 times they've put him in the ring. 36 times he's looked like the same guy. So I like the fight. Munguia has a shot here. He's not a total... he's a live underdog going into this fight because of age. So it's a real good step for him. And then for Triple G, I mean, if he gets the win, look for him to have a big matchup in the middleweight division, and him being in the driver's seat, probably against the likes of someone like a Charlo or Sanders.
Miguel?
This is a good fight for Munguia. I think this is actually very, very winnable. We know Triple G doesn't exactly have the best defense, even though he did show a little bit of a glimpse of defense in his most recent fight. He's old. He's basically, I mean, we're talking about, you know, a Triple G and then a younger Triple G in Munguia, basically. Guys, they do the same shit over and over and over, and they change absolutely nothing. Neither defense is that great, so they're both going to be connecting on one another. They're not the kind to backpedal and run, so to speak. So they're not going to have to look for one another. They're going to pretty much bang it out like Rock'em Sock'em Robots, pretty much, I'm sure. And when that happens, the youth is going to win, in my opinion. So I think that in order for Triple G to win, he's going to have to do something differently, which I don't even think he's capable of anyway. We were hoping, Munguia would improve now that he has, or had, I don't know if he still does, Eric Morales in his corner. That training, one of the first things I was hoping for is to see some improvements, some defensive improvements. Still nothing. So I think this is, age versus, I guess youth. I expect Munguia to win. I think he might come in as a fucking, underdog. And I think I read recently that Canelo, officially relinquished some of his other belts that he had at middleweight. So I wouldn't be surprised if those are going to be at stake here once this fight happens, should it happen. But very winnable for Munguia. I think he's actually going to take it. Even with taking the shots that Triple G is going to land on him, which he will, his youth is going to help him, persevere. It's going to be a fun fight. I'll say it's going to be a fun fight. And it's a nice payday for both these guys. So why not?
Moving forward, and thank you, Oscar De La Hoya, for joining the show. It makes Sam very happy. Remembering Tommy Morrison on this date yesterday, 52 years ago, Tommy the Duke Morrison, and in memory of my dad who just passed away about 4 or 5 months ago. I don't keep track of that. The Duck. My dad used to call him the Duck. Tommy the Duck Morrison was born. One of the most exciting heavyweights of the 1990s. His amateur record was 202-20. His pro record ended at 48-3-1 with 42 KOs. The high point of his pro career, Morrison won his first 28 bouts, 25 by knockouts. Tommy outpointed ring legend George Foreman in 93 to become the WBO heavyweight champion. Other great victories were wins over Donovan Razor Ruddock, Pinklin Thomas, Carl Weathers, James Tillis, and Joe Hip. I don't know about that. The low points of his career were knockout losses to Ray Mercer, Michael Bent, and Lennox Lewis. If I was Lennox Lewis, I might be a little insulted by being in the company of Ray Mercer and Michael Bent. He retired in 1996, made a short comeback 2007 to 2008 with 2 bouts. He died on September 1st, 2013 at the age of 44. Tommy Morrison will always be remembered as playing Tommy Gunn in Rocky V in the shittiest Rocky movie of all time. Andrew, what is your Tommy Morrison memory?
Ray Mercer knocking him out. What, dude? It's a great knockout.
It was brutal. Very brutal.
Okay, let's see. Ray Mercer. Go ahead. You got anything for me, Miguel? This is where you experts step up when we do these remembrance moments.
I mean, it's sad, like if you guys watched that documentary of his on ESPN, it's pretty fucked up. But there's suspicion that he knew he was, There was some suspicion that he knew he was like HIV positive during his career. He still went in there and fought, which is kind of fucked up. But that stuff, I don't know. I think the memorable point for me is when he got, his ass handed to him by that Bent dude. I forget his name, Michael Bent, I think was. That one was fucked. Yeah, because he was actually winning. Like he was like staggering. He staggered Bent quite a bit, and then he got caught because he got sloppy. But and by the way, Rocky V is not the shittiest. I mean, I should say not shitty. It's probably the worst of all of them, but I wouldn't call it shitty because I actually thoroughly enjoy that movie. So I suggest anybody. Yeah, I like Rocky V. You guys want Rocky V? I mean, it's probably the worst. It's the worst of them. I get it, but I wouldn't call it shitty. I like mine.
No, I like that one. That was a good one. I will tell you. Do you guys know the story about him thinking that Don King had a fake HIV test put in?
Yeah.
Heard
that one for a while.
I want to hear it.
No, that's it right there.
Tell the story.
Yeah, that was brutal. And by the way, Ray Mercer is no joke. Like, if it's speaking of Lennox Lewis, if you guys watched that Lennox Lewis and Ray Mercer fight, that was a badass fight too. So yeah. I'm pretty sure Lennox Lewis
and him and Holyfield. Well, didn't him and Holyfield have they had a classic fight too, man. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Heavy hitter.
Did we do him enough justice now? Does everybody feel good about it?
I highly suggest that documentary, though. If you guys haven't seen it, I'm sure you can find some on YouTube, like non-ESPN ones. But the one that ESPN did specifically, that's on ESPN Plus, on Tommy Morrison, that one's pretty good. I mean, it's a tearjerker for real, but it's a good one.
I think the bigger question I have at this moment is, how would you rank the Rocky films? And I start with you, Andrew. What's the best and what's the worst?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Are you still sticking with Rocky 1?
Yes, that's the greatest one. Yes. Yeah.
But the worst is not Rocky 5.
No.
What? Miguel?
You know, Rocky 4 is my favorite.
It is my favorite as well.
The soundtrack was fantastic as well, with a killer soundtrack. And 5 might be the third in the list. I gotta say, Part 2 just doesn't do it for me. I'm gonna say that's the shittiest of the 5, probably. I would say.
That's when he got smart. Yo, Adrian taught him how to read.
He didn't get smart until he started promoting. Well, in 5, see, that's why I like 5.
But he learned how to read in 2. Just like Floyd Mayweather did with 50 Cent. 50 Cent sat him down in bed at night and started to read to him so that he could start doing commercials and making more of that cheddar. Oh my God. I just realized I have to get that clip and change the heads out.
What?
Do you remember Floyd couldn't read? That was the big sales push against the Maidana fight made by 50 Cent at the time. Swore up and down Floyd couldn't read. And I kept saying, how do you guys believe that he can't read? Like, that's the funniest thing ever. And I keep saying that in his tell-all book, he's going to say, how I sold the Marcus Maidana fight. I pretended not to be able to read with my friend. Well, past history. Moving forward, Gutierrez beats Alvarado, seizes the 130-pound title in what was probably the most compelling fight of yesterday afternoon's fight card. First and foremost, let's talk about yesterday's fight card in general. When did they first premiere the Mexican Michael Buffer? Like, has he been around before?
Yes.
Has he? Has? I knew he looked familiar. He doesn't sound familiar.
He used to do all the Golden Boy cards. That's Golden Boy. That's Oscars.
I thought so too, but he was never like doing a dead knockoff of Michael Buffer like this. Like, he was.
What was he
Michael
saying?
Buffer.
Oh yeah, what the hell was he? It's
It's golden time.
It's golden. Yeah, that was so corny.
He went up to Oscar and he was like, Oscar, what's my catchphrase? Oh man. And then boom, right there, Golden Boy.
That's when he unzipped his pants and said, "It's golden time."
Hold on, there's somebody at my door.
Oh no, I love gold.
Hey, that was rad, right? Eh?
No, it wasn't. That was corny as fuck.
That was rad, bro. Listen, bro. Listen. Especially you fucker up there in that Bay Area, little bitch ass kid. Listen, I was sitting there. I had a couple of pops in me, right? Had a spoon up my ass, and so he came up to me and he goes, "Oscar, what do I say?" And I went, "I don't know, bro. Just fucking wing it, wing it, bro. Wing it. Feel it."
That's how Oscar got the spoon. He was winging it in that hotel room.
Yeah, but it's a little known fact. The first catchphrase was, "It's spooning."
You don't bring the sex toy.
That's what it was.
He starts searching the fucking room for toys.
Whatever's within reach.
Come on, baby, throw them at me. Wing it.
That should have been the catchphrase. It's spooning time. It's spooning time. That's what it should have been.
It's spooning time.
He made a hooker blush. Do you know how bad you have to be to make a hooker say, "I don't do that"? Are you fucking serious? I've done a lot of shit in my life, but I can't do this one.
Can you imagine that look of like, well, she's probably high end, but again, with the amount of money he's probably paying out for silence, and for her to look at him and go, "Fuck, I don't do that."
That's the whole thing. He was trying to work a deal out, and they're like, "We don't do that." It's like, fuck, find someone that does.
Hey, what's wrong? Hey, what's
she
wrong
had to
with
tag
that guy?
that one out.
What's wrong with a guy wanting to be covered in coconut oil and fishnet stockings with a spoon up his ass? Come on,
I
bro.
don't. I'm just. All I'm saying is the embarrassment. The shame that Oscar should have felt that he made a hooker blush. Like, dude, that's when you got to check your life, man. The hooker's telling you, no, you're going too far.
Just because I'm a piece of shit doesn't mean that I'm a piece of shit, okay?
Poor Oscar.
That's what I'm saying.
I'll leave it alone. I'm just saying.
It's golden time.
That's just bad. That's just
Does it work if you do it like the other buffer? It's golden time.
Yes.
It doesn't work either
And
way.
now.
And now, Oscar De La Hoya, along with the UFC, it's golden time. Moving forward, ex-boxer Taberi, don't know who he is, but it's a little harder. But the fact that he was doing a dead Michael Buffer through the whole thing,
Yeah.
right down to
Hell yeah, dude. My dad heard that shit. He's like, what the fuck? And then he looked up. He's like,
I literally had to look twice. I said, I thought Michael Buffer was staying home during COVID. Like, you couldn't get him out or you had to get him on video. Like, he's made it pretty clear via video that he's not showing up to the big events and he doesn't care how big the contract is.
Yeah,
he
he's
just locked
worth
himself up.
more money than everyone in the fighting industry put together.
And he's got like a 25 or a 35-year-old hot blonde piece of ass that he lives with. I don't blame him.
Yeah.
People ask me all the time, how was the COVID lockdown? I lived on the beach with hot women.
Plus, he's like in his 70s now, so he's pretty high risk.
Yeah.
Example, he would do that.
Not.
He would bring his hands
Probably
up,
like
and
Bob.
against guys
Probably,
like Jermaine,
probably got
Jermaine Taylor.
vampire
But
blood
the
in it. I heard that. You do have vampire blood, Bob. I mean, you just really got to calm down. And the fact that I can now do 2 or 3 voices simultaneously because I'm sober is really irritating. Moving forward, for the fight itself, Gutierrez and Alvarado, that's when I started my evening. Interesting fight. I enjoyed the fight. I don't know jack diddly shit about Alvarado or Gutierrez or their war because they weigh 130 pounds and they're WBA regular champions or Sublime champions or this week's champions. I don't really know. I've sort of given up trying to figure out some of these.
Yeah.
This is like, okay, Andrew, who is your right guard on the Raiders right now?
I have no idea.
Exactly my point. This is the right guard. This is definitely the right guard for the Raiders.
Well, no, I mean, it's not even about that, Lee. It's the WBA is the one that has the Supreme, the regular, the fucking interim. They have like 3 or 4 titles now for their, I mean, that's what it's all about.
That's why I employ experts. So watch this, Andrew. Miguel, tell me about Gutierrez and Alvarado and their... Oh, wait, there's one more thing we need to address. How long has... Like, when exactly... Okay, I know you've talked about it. We've talked about this before, that they were fucking around
right in the ring
with the announcer crew was like completely out of control, right?
Yeah,
I know that previously we know that Sergio Moro was having Chris Mannix issue, and we've talked about that repeatedly on the show. But when did the former WWE announcer start fucking with Sergio while Chris was fucking with Sergio? And at what point is Sergio going to have enough and beat the fuck out of both of these guys? Like, is he so stupid that he doesn't know he's getting fucked with? It was really bad from this fight
It
forward.
always is, though. It really is.
It's pretty cringe.
Sergio is a dipshit. Okay, we all know that he's a dipshit. But now there are 2 guys on air basically talking to him like he's a mentally challenged guy.
Yeah, they talk down to him, huh?
Yep.
They do. Dramatically.
And I don't remember when the fuck Grisham started getting in on the action. I thought, I legit thought it was like a 2-man show, with fucking with Mora and Mannix, and I thought, okay, well, it's kind of funny. They bicker at one another. It's kind of funny. But then Grisham started getting in on the action. It's like, oh damn, tag teaming on fucking Mora now. God.
Yeah. Either that or they're listening to the show and they know what to talk to him about, which is even funnier because they're making jokes about the, basically you did your homework, right, Sergio? Right? Like that's kind of shit they were doing to him. Every time he would say something, they would literally disagree with him like he had a head full of rocks. Like this fight particularly, right? He was talking about the 12th round. My favorite was the 12th round. And Sergio's like, he should stay away. He's got the fight won. He should. And Chris Mannix literally runs to the microphone as quick as he can, and you can hear him actually hit the mic with his mouth. He had to speak so fast, and he's like, what terrible advice you just gave, Sergio. He should go right at him and finish the fight. You can't leave it in the judge's hands. And I was really expecting Chris Grisham at that moment to say, and that's why you're still not middleweight champion. Huh. You're so cute. Sergio, afterwards, we're going to go have creamsicles. Can you say creamsicle? Good job, Sergio. I mean, that's kind of the vibe I got through this whole thing. I was more intrigued with the three of them talking about this fight than I was watching the fight. And it was a really good fight. They were trying to sell it.
Well, that's because they don't know how to call a fight, though, Lee. All three of them are bad at calling fights. And I told you, Maddox, I think sometimes he's a little bit, what is the word? What am I looking for here? He's a little discouraged by, not bringing enough to the table. So he tries to make it up by putting down the only guy that's actually talking about boxing
to himself,
or what's going on in the ring in a technical
he's not
standpoint.
He's not an extra.
Those other guys can't do that. They can't.
The amusing part of that
they
is
want to talk about what they heard in an interview or what they've seen in the last fight.
I totally get that. But it doesn't help that your technical guy is talking out of his ass when it comes to boxing.
No, sometimes he's on point. He's a fighter. He knows what he's talking about. The guy beat Vernon Forrest, right?
Yeah,
right. Vernon Forrest is a pretty good fighter back in the day. I know that it's a short reign at being the champ, right? It was like 6 months or so, but he did it. Okay, when none of those other guys have done it.
I'm with you. I said that via text when this was all going on. I'm like, why doesn't he just on mic say, "Hey, how many of you have been middleweight champion of the world?"
Or even been in shape. How about that?
Fuck.
Have you even had enough discipline in your life to be in fucking shape?
Yeah, which one of you guys won $1 million for being on a fucking TV show?
Jesus.
They tried that shit at the end of the show. Did you hear that little backhanded thing?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Oh my God, they brought up the contender as well. Yep. Like they were just on Sergio. Like, did he get drunk the night before and piss these guys off?
And who knows? Maybe Sergio off the camera is a total dick, right? Maybe he's one of those. Maybe he is one of those you ain't done what I've done type of guys where they eat him alive whenever he fucks up. I don't know Sergio personally, but I am in the boat with you, Lee. I would have flashed on these dudes a while ago.
Right. I mean, it would take a quick elbow for sure for Grisham. I'm sure he's going down with just a back elbow.
A jab. Yeah,
right?
No, Sergio jab him.
Well, Sergio doesn't have a lot of power.
He jab.
He can't.
We're talking about regular people.
Yeah.
Lee.
Yeah, they are
compared to regular people. He's a fucking Deontay Wilder.
That's right.
Sergio. This is almost a better title than the PP one. Sergio Mora is the Deontay Wilder of the DAZN announcing team. I love that.
Yes, what's his knockout percentage? I want to see his knockout percentage.
I think he could take most of the crew, honestly, until you start to get really serious and get to some of the backup DAZN guys, because there's some real fighters in there. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. All right, so let's talk about Alvarado versus Gutierrez. And I turn to you, Miguel, because you're in charge of knowing shit about boxers that I don't know shit about.
Well, it was an entertaining fight. Like it looked like I was watching it, right? I think this is the bigger. So these Alvarado guys, there's two of them. They're twins. They showed one earlier in the evening. He got dropped. Alvarado got dropped a couple of times early. So right off the bat, he was like from behind on points, and it looked like he was.
I want to say Canelo's defense is probably
was just like
one of the best that I've seen in a fight.
Like he was huge, dude. And some of these shots that Alvarado was landing on Gutierrez like should have hurt him, should have stunned him. They stopped him momentarily, but not enough to like really hurt him. And even went as far as like cutting him and then it looked like Gutierrez's like gas tank just like dropped, dude. That second half of the fight, it was just like he was allowing Alvarado to get back into the fight. He wasn't able to like keep. He was a taller guy, but he wasn't really able to keep Alvarado at bay with his jab or anything. But yeah, and then everything seemed as though it was starting to slowly like even out, and then that 12th round knockdown happened, which didn't even look that hard. It looked like Gutierrez clipped him like on the tip of his nose almost with that left. He did this like classic 1, 2, 3, and he finished him with a 3, and he dropped, and that totally fucked the fight for Alvarado. It was a really entertaining fight, at least early on. It did kind of slow down a little bit. It had its lulls in the action because the crowd was actually pretty like they were pretty hostile, you know what I'm saying? Like they were entertained from the fight before and were like booing like any chance, any lull in action in this fight here with Gutierrez and Alvarado. The crowd started booing. It's like, what the fuck? Like, relax, yo. It's they're like, the mouthpiece fell off or whatever the hell. They're just booing at that. I was like, okay, this is fucking Texas, of course, right? But it was an entertaining fight. Gutierrez damn near let it slip away, and but that knockdown is ultimately what won the fight for him. But very entertaining fight. I've watched it a couple of times since then, actually.
Excellent. Andrew, did you get a chance to get some eyes on the product?
No, just the end. I just seen the knockout. That was it.
Yeah, that was interesting. But
yeah, I don't know. This was a championship fight? What were the records? Go down a little, Lee.
Okay.
Tell us what the records are or anything.
Hold on. Who are these guys? Hold on.
Renee Alvarado.
This was a rematch too. I remember them saying that there might be a third fight.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
25-3. Here we go.
Ooh, 32
a rematch bout. Yeah, no, this is what I mean.
They kept saying this, that like these twins were like damn near a cut from Golden Boy, and they were like, please let us stay. And so yeah, these guys don't have great records, but or at least Alvarado's I'm talking about. But yeah, 29 losses, 32-9.
Okay.
Yeah, and there'll be a co-headliner on the next Oscar's out of guys.
Whoa!
Don't you think? Which takes us to our main event of the evening. It's golden time. All right, where do you want me to?
Fire and ice.
Fire and ice. Wait, we made another intro for this. Please hold on. Fire and ice is about to begin after you watch this video. We're back. Are you ready for this, Sergio? Great. We have another video to watch.
Hey, I like what they said. They go, Sergio, your thoughts on the fight. He looks dead at the camera. Fire and ice. That was all he said. I was like, he was not prepared for that question. And we're moving on.
And go to a video. Yeah, right. That's kind of cut to the video. Worse, I feel like Oscar would have been, hey, see, fire and ice, dick.
It was almost like it was a running joke with them guys. They kept saying it so much in the beginning of the main event. It was like they were clowning the title of the fight or something. Because I didn't really get it either. Fire and ice. Like, the fuck does this mean? I don't understand what's going on.
Producing the event, much like Bob. Oscar had the headset.
Oscar was on.
Say fire and ice again, asshole. I paid for a website. That's like $35.
We got to meet the quota of how many times we say fire and ice on this broadcast.
And they made all these videos. Oh, there's so much I need to talk about that happened before this actual fight happened. First, Ricky Hatton should not do anything that involves live video at all, ever again. Ricky, two things about my assessment of Ricky Hatton, and I'll bring this one around the room. First of all, he's unintelligible, period. Maybe to English people, you can understand him. Maybe even to an Australian, you can understand him. But whatever form of English he's using to communicate with makes zero sense to me in this universe. And when he really gets excited and starts even talking quicker, it's even more muddled and more fucked up. Next, he looks like one of those inflatable sumo guys now. Like he literally looks like he's got the sumo suit, the inflated sumo suit on. He's so round and bulbous. And I'm pretty sure I can outrun Ricky, so I've got that going for me if I ever meet him in a dark alley. Like, wow. Okay, number 2. This Davies guy that's on the DAZN English broadcasting team, who's got 1970s porn hair.
Hey, Ron, that guy's getting like 400 years on.
Wow.
You see that?
Wow.
Yeah, like all the girls in the industry put rape charges on him. He's going in for a long time.
Wow. What is going on at DAZN? You got 3 guys on the American crew that are literally picking each other apart. The English crew has a guy who's got a ham sandwich stuck in his mouth while he's talking, and another guy who clearly looks like a child predator. That's the announcing crew for you guys over at DAZN. And then on top of it, I'll say it again, Oscars announcer doing Golden Time almost made me shit my pants when it happened. Like I've laughed at some of the, like the Tampico thing made me laugh and fall out of the chair the time I saw that on a ring rope. That was pretty funny. Right?
It sounds like what you should scream right before a golden shower. It's golden time.
Right. Wow. I start with you, Miguel. Is there anything that I did not assess correctly about what DAZN's product physically looks like before we talk about this fight? Yeah.
No,
and there were 6,000 super spreaders in attendance. Not a fucking one of them had a mask on.
Yes. What they coined as COVID capacity. That's what they call COVID capacity. That's the term for that. So
okay.
It was at COVID capacity.
Miguel, what did you think of the product? How did the product look?
I mean, if it certainly I don't know. It just seems like a bunch of fucking unprofessional people running the shit with the cameras pointing at them. The first thing out of my dad's mouth when he saw Ricky Hatton was like, "Holy shit, that guy's fat!" Like that's the first thing that came to mind. He's like, "Look at that guy. He let himself." Like, yeah, he's really dead. You know,
yeah, he did, Dad.
Yeah,
he's a mess.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I had to disagree. I couldn't disagree. You know, I mean, it's come to become, you know, like I at some point I find it entertaining. I find it more entertaining than that Ak and Barack show that's on the Zone as well. If you guys ever tried watching that.
Well, no, DeSuze and Mero. Wait, hold on. Why do they keep going to DeSuze and Mero for like feedback on fighting? Have I missed
have
it?
some boxing related show on the Zone.
Funny ever. Yeah. Okay, if any of you listen or watch DeSuze and Mero and think it's funny, get the fuck off my show. All right, I'm putting down a 2021 edict. I don't want to see him on Showtime being asked their opinions about a fight. I don't want to see him on DAZN being asked about fight. I don't want to see him hanging out with Sean Porter at a fight. They're banned from boxing. Okay, they're not funny. Their humor is not even remotely like they're. Sorry.
It's pretty bad. I tried watching their show once on DAZN and it was pretty lame. But
couldn't make it on Showtime and wound up on DAZN, and now they show up on DAZN fights. They were doing it on Showtime all the time.
They're doing it on Showtime.
We go now to DeSuze and Mero. Thanks, Maro. We're gonna make some jokes about you. Oh, that would be very funny with my depression and all. I hope I don't kill myself. Now they're on DAZN. Yeah, we're gonna make some jokes about Sergio because everybody seems to make fun of him. Anyway, okay, different channel. What goddamn Orwellian boxing nightmare am I in that these two fucks keep popping up?
Hey, did you guys hear? Did you guys hear when Sergio said, he goes, "You got to put this under a telescope," and they're like, "Telescope? Really, Sergio? Really? You think you mean microscope?" Poor
this
Sergio.
Is officially so far out of hand on DAZN. Like,
maybe Sergio is into astrology. We don't know this. Maybe he's into astrology.
It's really that far out of hand. Like, it's so far out of hand on DAZN. If they were the Chargers, you need to fire everybody. Like, at what point do
the
you
Raiders
realize,
too? Don't get it past them. Fucking
Hey,
8-8.
you're 1-6. Look, you're the Jaguars. You're the Chargers. You won one game this year. Yay. Okay, guess what? You're all fired. What do you mean? You didn't move the needle. You didn't even get 1% of the viewer. Like, you're done. You're done.
And what's weird about the Ricky Hatton thing is last week, I want to say it was Joe Calzaghe they had with Ron Jeremy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ron Jeremy.
And
The English Ron Jeremy.
yeah, no, this week they have Ricky Hatton, which I was very surprised.
That's a really funny reference. On so many levels, it's funny. He's the English Ron Jeremy. Oh, so great. So great. What will they be saying about Mannix in 20 years? He's the American, what? I don't know, Gallagher? Where's the for him? No, whatever. So your dad didn't get it. Did you get it? Or are you just entertained by it like I am, where you just go, Hennessy, the time is right now for me to drink a bottle of Hennessy and watch this fight. That's all I'm thinking every time I see an Oscar fight.
Let me say this real fast. I don't watch with the same attention that I used to give HBO and Michael Buffer and Larry Merchant and them. You went at Max Kellerman, Manuel Stewart. You used to get inside tips with Emmanuel Stewart, Sugar Ray Leonard. They were great at breaking down fights, strategies, things that would happen later on in the fight. I used to love that about them. You get none of that with the current commentators that are out right now, especially with DAZN.
No, DAZN especially. We got close with, I hate to say it, we got close with PBC because they at least hired, forgetting the Morrow thing.
Lewis and Lennox Lewis and the
trainer.
The trainer. Gosh darn it.
Goosen.
Yes, thank you.
Goosen.
Well, HBO,
Goosen,
I mean, not HBO, Showtime isn't bad either, right? I mean, Showtime's got decent when they had
No,
Paulie.
you're stuck with Morrow and Paulie and
yeah, they lost it when they lost
Gray.
Burns.
You get Gray, who looks like he's phoning it in now. Gray really looks like he's another great fight tonight. Showbox, yay! We're gonna have a great night of boxing on Showbox with two guys you've never heard of named Smith and Smith. They'll be fighting for
we've
no
really
reason.
lost that. We've lost that in the sport, and with DAZN, I find myself not paying attention when the fights aren't on. Be honest with you, the guy's record, if you're got 9 defeats, kind of not interested. Then you add on top of that, you got commentating that's garbage. You know, they're over here talking about what the guy does on his off time, and you know, it's just it's bad. It's bad, and I find myself not paying attention to DAZN cards as much. That's what I would tell them. They need to get I don't know what happened to Leonard. I don't know if Leonard just got too old or what, because it's not like Sugar Ray died, and he was great on HBO back in the day. You know, we're talking 20-something years ago. Maybe he just 30 years ago. Fuck.
He might have priced himself out of range for everybody. That's a distinct possibility as well. He could look. I gotta say what happened to fucking to HBO. His name just left me. Lampley. Jim. Where is Jim? He's enjoying his money, and he probably has a hot 20-something-year-old girl like
this job really ain't hard though, Lee. You fly in to some cool casino or hotel, you get pampered the whole week. What's hard about the lifestyle that Jim Lampley was
Actually,
living?
I'll go a step further, and you both have heard me say this to the PR people. You don't even need them to show up. Like we've proved with the bubble, you don't even need the announcers in the building. You've got enough cameras there. You've got enough cameras. You don't need all the press there.
Yes, but
this is our reward for the truth of there's so many press people there. It's the reward for covering your sport that has so many shitty fights. You allow us to come to the fight and you feed us. And in exchange, we talk about your fight card. That's kind of the give and take of the industry.
But I'm talking about the commentating. I'm talking about Jim showing
the
up.
The same as with commentating. Like, you don't need...
No, Jim Lampley used to bring chills out of a fight. The things he could say...
He'd get emotional like hella.
Yes, he would bring it out. And I think boxing's missing that. Boxing kind of needs that. It's just... you know, I don't know. It's just there's certain points in the fight when Lampley was calling what he was doing. It just made the fight that much better.
That would make.
No, I disagree. I think with the right call, It is still. You do need commentating still. I
I'll tell
don't
you
think
what
you
I'm
just.
excited. I'll tell you what I'm
hate.
excited.
No, wait a minute. My grandfather, he
Yeah.
used to love watching the fights on mute because he thought all of HBO was racist. They all hated fucking Chavez. That Chavez was losing every fight. And they were, he hated him. He used to watch it on mute. I hated that, dude. And the fight, it was so quiet on some of the nights watching the fights because Chavez was winning. Obviously, we're not scared of him losing. But I think HBO was trying to make it more of a fight, right? So they're like, they're just trying to make it closer than what it was. But I hate fights with no sound. Yes, sir. Go ahead, Lee.
No, I was going to say that I'm excited because I read last week that Steve Kim signed a deal to start doing
I thought, that kind of shows
John
you
Thompson's boxing
everything
promotion
Floyd's
out in the
missing
Valley,
in life.
and he was going to start doing fights. Now, he's real rough on play-by-play. However, he's such a super nerd that he might be the next generation of guy that can come up. He doesn't have the voice for it. The shame of it all is guys like Morrow, or Grisham. If you've got the strong radio voice and you can say the silly words into the microphone just like this, I don't think that even when I was asked to do it, I don't think I was ever asked to do it because what I brought to the table. They just wanted a good radio voice that sounds really good. And by the way, you're on the radio, so that's great. And then they found out, yeah, I got an opinion. And it's a pretty strong opinion, and it's generally a pretty shitty
and
opinion.
That's what's gonna happen to Steve Kim. Steve Kim, that's been his issue his whole time in this sport.
He can't hold his tongue. He's like me.
Exactly.
He won't be able to not say something. Well,
Yeah.
We'll see. Maybe he's learned his lesson. I often think that every once in a while somebody's going to come to me and go, Lee, would you like to cover a boxing or MMA bout for us? And my
I'm
first thought
fairly
is,
certain
do you
that I'm
want
gonna
me for the
win the
voice,
Go-
or
go
last
look
night
up to
because I'm going to
go
say
to the
something controversial again? I mean, I'm kind of tired being introduced, and the always controversial Lee Punish. Really? That's how you introduced me. Let me start right out of the gate by saying you're a dick, he's a dick, and the two guys holding cameras are dicks. Fuck y'all. I mean, like, I was like that, wasn't I, Andrew? I get that. Sorry. I was having a 2021 flashback there of what it was like in 2006. Yeah, I was kind of like that, Miguel. There's kind of a reason why everybody doesn't like me. Let's talk about the fight. Sorry, as I stretch the show up. King Rye. Can we talk about this King Rye thing first before we talk about the fight? What branding genius came up with King Rye? Anyone?
Sounds like a Chinese dish.
No, I'm going to show you exactly what it is in a minute because it's even funnier.
It's deep fried king rye. Deep fried king rye.
There you go. I like
Okay,
that.
so
Sounds good.
again, this is an Oscar de la Hoya sitting with his marketing team with Canelo and everybody trying to come up with his own little gimmick moment, right? So they came up with King Rye. It's the combination. It's like doing Bradgelina. You're combining King and Ryan together to come up with King Rye. I get it. However, you guys didn't do your goddamn homework like I would have if I did your marketing, which I did. So let's all learn how to expand fitness with Julianne Hough. But she is King Rye. That's right. It's part dancing. It's part aerobics. It's a lot of swinging your hair. And it's only $10 a lesson. So tomorrow you can sign up and get King Rye 20. Why wouldn't you look that shit up before you come up with it? Like, wait, let me go a step further because, let's just say I got hired to do the marketing for this dipstick. First, after I get rid of all of his fake people that are following him, and he finds out he's only got like 100,000 people following him, I would go, why King Rye? Because that's Expanded Fitness by Juliana Hough. Isn't she in jail, for God's sakes, for a rowing incident? All right. Just thought I'd say it out loud for the room. There's an orthodontics called King Rye. More Juliana Hough on comments about her strange energy and King Rye. No, more about Juliana Moore. No,
Just kinda
she talks about her
sounds dumb,
sexuality
too.
on the loop. King Rye hashtag on Instagram. Let's see what that brings up if we King Rye. Is it going to be Juliana Hough talking about her sexuality or whatever else she's got? There we go. There's your little king. He got that part right. He got the hashtag right. Come on.
Ooh, it's an ugly picture
Well,
of him
let's
getting
start
dropped.
right there, shall we? Let's take this in order, shall we? Let's start with King Rye on his throne coming out to the ring.
Oh,
shall we?
With his
So
Greek.
original.
Am I the only one that saw a very bad flashback to the MGM Grand about to happen for
Yeah, I mean, come on, not original at all. The thing he's sitting on looks like it's from Caesar's Palace's lobby. Like they just put it on some 2x4s and had him sit down, carried his ass out there. We talked about this with Tank. You know, let's kind of stay away from these things that Floyd did like 5 years ago and being carried out. Like you're an emperor is one of the things Floyd did like 5 years ago. So just stay away from that.
It was when he fought Ricky Hatton.
Yeah, I mean Prince C did it.
It was
Tyson Fury did it. You know, the list goes on of guys that have been carried out to the ring. It's just like, really?
Well,
not
here's
original.
What I was thinking,
King
and
Rye.
I was texting. Here's what I was. Hey, listen, they hired a branding company for that. They spent real money. He and Canelo spent real money on
bench. There's no backrest to it. It's not even a throne. There's no backrest. It's just a bench.
No, it's a stool.
No, I'm telling you, it's from Caesar's Palace.
It's like a waiting fucking. I don't know.
They literally threw it together the night before in the parking lot.
That's where you buy shoes at the Shoe Palace. That's where you sit down. They bring the shoe out to you.
Yeah.
Wow,
I would be surprised if they had a little mirror on the side so you can take it out. Like who forgot to remove the mirror? What the fuck?
Jailhouse.
He does. He had quite the record. He fought a BB King. Sponsored by Footjoy. And right out of the gate, King Rye was pretty impressive by taking that punch. You know, not even a real solid punch to the chin. That was a good punch.
It was solid, man. Yeah. Now look at his hands, Lee. His chin is exposed. It's in the air. He's taking a straight left. It hit him on the money. I thought the night was almost over, you guys. Like, that was a shot, man. That was a shot.
So
Go ahead, Miguel.
So here's my first question, and I'll give it to you, Miguel, and you can ramble on about this for a second. We're going to talk about this fight. We'll talk about what we saw and what we didn't see.
Give me 2 minutes. I'm going to be right back fighting that. Give me 2 minutes.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. All right, Miguel, you ready? Here's your question.
Yes.
Shouldn't everybody know how to beat this fucker now?
Yes. People should have been known how to beat this fucker. Like before this fight, they should have been known. He does this. This is his inexperience. Look at his hands when he's taking that shot. For those of you who can see it, look at his hands. It is like when you catch somebody off guard, you know, when someone splashes you with water at the pool, you stick your hands out and you stick your face out. You're like, oh shit, don't smash me in the face. That's our natural instinct to like turn away from anything. Boxing, you have to do the opposite. You have to learn to keep your chin down, keep your eyes on your opponent, and, you know, basically look at the opponent as the punch is coming at you. This is like what's his name? Campbell set this up so beautifully because that whole first round and even leading up to the knockdown, he kept throwing that left to Ryan's body, waiting for him to bring his hands down, and ultimately he did, and this is what happened. But yes, to answer your question, we should have been fucking known how to beat Ryan at this point.
Well, what I found most interesting about this particular punch and what jumped out to me, I am not an experienced fighting like one of the Paul brothers, but I have thrown my hat in the ring and trained a little. King Rye doesn't like getting hit.
No, not at all. I mean,
I think what we really found out from this is, oh, dude, you haven't been hit yet.
Yes, exactly. He haven't really had guys throw this much heat at him. You know, we watch all of his videos of him hitting the bag, him hitting the pads, and all of this shit. But you know, this needed to happen. And to his credit, he got back up, of course. But it's like, look at the way he's defending. His chin up in the air, his arms straight out. Like that's like, you know, day one shit. That's like literally day one shit, you know. So it's just
his soul left his body for a split second. That was definitely a soul snatcher. It really, I honestly for a split second thought, oh, that was your soul leaving your body,
and if
bro.
you notice, if you notice, he did like when you fight a southpaw, you kind of have to change up your direction in which direction you go. In the direction you move when you try to get out of the way of punches. And he went straight back this entire fight. He went straight back, and he paid for it with this punch here because Luke himself is pretty long. He's got some pretty long arms, and he was able to reach him, and he did so a few times during this fight here. But he kept moving straight back in the direct line. He never left the center line, and I mean that's what happens.
Andrew, I turn to you. The blueprint has now been written for beating King Rai. What did you see with this knockdown before we talk about Cool Hand running out of gas?
He was 3 punches, in my opinion, you guys. He was 3 punches, 3 mistakes away from being in a perfect fight. Ryan Garcia was dominating this fight. The first round, the second round, he gets dropped and then starts dominating again. There was 2 other times where he stuck his tongue out at Luke Campbell after Campbell landed some decent shots on him. And those are the only 2 other mistakes I've seen this kid do the whole night. I was really amazed at the backlash, and I'm not talking about anything between us 3. The backlash on the internet on how bad they were saying the performance of I was about to say King Rai, fucking asshole, Ryan Garcia. I promise that was
hashtag.
out of mouth.
Hashtag King Rai.
It was dude, look, Luke Campbell was hurt every single round, and when I say he was hurt, I'm not talking about wobbled, to the point where his brain's dizzy. I'm talking about just buckled. This guy just fought Lomachenko last year, 2000, or now I guess you would say 2 years ago, going to be 2 years ago, 2019, right? He just fought Lomachenko in an excellent fight, went 12 rounds. Some said that was the pound-for-pound fighter in the world. He comes in his very next fight and is getting hurt in every single round. And once again, when I say hurt, go back and watch the tape. I think it was the speed of Garcia that was getting to Campbell, but he kept buckling his leg. Every time he hit him with that left, and that left is so getting like Nonito Donaire. That's that left hook that Ryan has is becoming its own beast. He doesn't even know when he throws it. It just fucking happens. You get too close to him, he fucking snaps that left. Nonito used to do the same thing, eh? That thing had a mind of its own. Garcia's is getting that good. When he threw it to the body, the finishing punch, can you imagine the speed and the power that he has on that thing when he hits the chin? All of that went to that perfect spot in the body, and the fight was fucking over. This kid was 3 mistakes away from being in a perfect fight. I like everything that Garcia showed. He got dropped. You guys, I think he fell asleep. I think it was coming a little bit too easy for him, and he started getting a little overconfident, got caught. And that needed to happen. He needed that moment. You know what I love? Did you guys see how fast he got up? Did you see how his legs?
Yeah, his legs. Yeah. I mean, well, hold on. I'll let you explain. Why did you love that? What was it?
His legs didn't buckle. He comes back in. He's got his feet down. He's looking right at Campbell. He goes right back into the fire. He wasn't scared. He wasn't a deer in headlights. Oh, no, doesn't know. Oh, hold on, Ryan. Hold on. No. He went right back to work. He got up, took his 8 count, went right back into the fire. That's some championship pedigree shit right there. That everything these guys hate on this kid. Oh, his amateur record wasn't good. Oh, he hasn't proved anything. Dude, you were talking about a kid with no pedigree in the amateur background. Yeah, he had a lot of fights, but no gold medal, no big talk of him coming out of the amateurs. He took on a gold medal winner, a guy who had just fought in Lomachenko to 12 rounds in what many people said was a very entertaining fight, and got dominated by Garcia last night. And I got to say, to whoever out there thinks that he wasn't dominated, you got to go back and watch that fight. Garcia hurts him in 7 of the 7 rounds before he stops him. Luke Campbell has never been dealt like this, and he faced 2 of the best lightweights of this era in Jorge Linares and Vasily Lomachenko. I got nothing but props for Ryan Garcia on what he did Saturday night. This kid is living up to the hype that everyone keeps proclaiming he is.
And Andrew, I want to mention something. Is the inexperience is what I think fucked him up here. I mean, he won ultimately, so that's. But number one, the way he defended that left during that first round, Campbell was throwing that left to his body to try to get Ryan's hands down, and then he came upstairs with it just the way Broner did with Maidana. And the way he's defending it, you notice with his hands down and his hands straight out, his chin up in the air, and then getting back up that quickly. That seemed to me as though he was more embarrassed by the shot than anything. You know what happens when you get knocked down? You generally take the 8 count, though. You kneel down, just shake off the cobwebs, but he got right back up. That seemed to me more like inexperience, more embarrassment. He got up like, oh shit, let me just, but it could have worked against him, because we remember, Zab Judah and Kostasou. Bring it back up immediately. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's like you get that up. Next time, give yourself a few seconds to shake off the cobwebs and stand back up.
And that is why trainers don't like their fighters to get up immediately, because you don't want the ref to see you wobble. You don't want him to see, oh, wait, he's hurt. Stop the fight. No. Stay down. Get your head straight. Then this kid got up like it was nothing. He looked at it. Campbell shook his head, and then goes right back into the fire. Hey, like I said, man, this kid stars is the limits for him. All he has to do is keep winning and keep smiling. The haters will hate. His fans will come. The girls are going to come. Everything's working. The only downfall I see him having is possibly following the same footsteps as Canelo and trying to break off a little bit too early. Don't do that. Don't fucking bite the hand that's feeding you. I was happy that he was excited to see De La Hoya, but did anyone see how excited he was when Canelo came in the ring?
Hell yeah, dude.
Fuck yeah. If I'm Oscar,
gushing over him.
You better see the writing on the wall. You better start putting money in this kid's pockets that Canelo can't, because there is a max, right? Canelo's just a fighter. He's not he hasn't been making money his whole life. De La Hoya better put him out of reach for Canelo Promotions, or Canelo Promotions will be taking Ryan Garcia as soon as his contract's up, and maybe even before.
Miguel?
Oh, no, that was it. I didn't have anything else to add to that.
Okay. Now the inevitable question of...
Oh, okay, go ahead.
I'm leading with your question. Where does he go from here? Go ahead.
No, you're going to softball pitch it. Go ahead. I'm waiting.
Okay. Wow, with a tremendous appearance like that, on a shitty telecast like that, blah, blah, blah. Where does he go from here? Yeah. Because he didn't say dick diddly shit after the fight. Andrew?
Who's going first? You or me?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, you go first, Andrew.
Okay, listen, I don't want him to go anywhere. I want him to stay under the where he's ranked. He's ranked 5th right now in the lightweight division. I don't want him to fight any of the guys in the top 5. He's not ready. And there's no need. He's only 22. I'm looking back at Linares, you guys. I'm looking at Linares hard. And if he gets past Linares, then I might be looking at a Vasily Lomachenko in the summertime, or maybe in September. You got to build this thing. No Haney's, no Teofimo Lopez's, none of the young guns yet. These guys are all young. There's no need to rush this. We got some old cats here we can make some money on and get them out of there in a proper way, just how boxing used to be. Then you build the fight. The Haney's, the Lopez's, those will all be there at the end. So no, man, I'm looking at Linares. Even though Linares is ranked lower now than Ryan Garcia, I'm looking at a Jorge Linares to try to match him up with him. This fight was supposed to happen. COVID dropped it. There's no reason why they can't go back. Linares has worked with Golden Boy many times. If Ryan Garcia beats Linares, then you're looking probably for his first big fight. I still would not put him in with the top 5, though. Just because there's no reason to rush it. You rushed it with Canelo, and ultimately, I think that's what ruined the relationship between him and De La Hoya. De La Hoya probably convinced Canelo to go after the money because boxing can be a dirty sport. Oscar lived through it, and when it happened to them, they probably got mad at Oscar for making them sell out their undefeated record. Because it seems like ever since that Mayweather fight is when those two went south. Oscar, he has names out there that he can make with Ryan Garcia that does not have to include Teofimo Lopez or Devin Haney yet.
Miguel.
Yes, I absolutely agree with that. I don't think he's ready for the other young guns. Of the four, that we're looking at here, Haney, Ryan, Javante, and Teofimo. Right now, Haney is, in my opinion, the least tested of the three. He has yet to fight somebody like the other three have fought.
Right.
Now,
Right.
I even still don't think that King Ryan, or Jesus Christ, that Ryan is like ready is ready for
King
anybody
Rye,
else.
King Rye.
Hashtag
What?
King Ryan, Jesus Christ. Um, but
Jesus
I
Christ.
don't think he's ready. I mean, dude, any one of those guys can fuck him up. Like they're I don't know, like the power of Davis, the technically sound Linares, the power of Telfimo. I think though they just mop the floor with this kid. Unfortunately, I think, but he's not ready yet. Yes, he does need to find another one of those veterans. Like, I mean, we can go with Linares, but honestly, I still think Linares beats him. I still think he has to go another direction. Who else? I'm not sure right off the bat, but I still don't even think. I mean, it would make sense, right? Linares would be the next logical step because even Ryan himself has called him out. He said it. He wanted Luke Campbell and he wanted Linares. He actually wanted Linares first, but Linares, got stuck with COVID, and then he's even tied up a little bit with Fortuna. I don't know if they're still going to make that Javier Fortuna fight with Linares, but if that fight happens and Linares wins, that's might be something that I'll be looking forward to. But even still, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm trying. I'm trying not to hate, but something's just not convincing me about Ryan, man. I don't know what the fuck it is. It's just I'm not quite convinced yet, and I don't even think a fight with Linares would be best next. Give him someone else. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Get Gamboa or something. Yuriki's Gamboa even. Fuck, I'll take that. But
No way over Linares, bro.
Over Linares, no, like, cause dude, Linares, I don't know. I
Gamboa's been dropped 16 times in his career.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're gonna give him one of these softies. That's what I think.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you wanted to see him matched up with Gamboa over Linares. I was like, what the hell?
I mean, like for the sake, like when you said not moving him forward against one of the other young guns, I still think. I mean, I know Linares is not one of the young guns, but I still think Linares beats him. So I don't think he's ready for Linares yet. Give him a softie like fucking Gamboa or some shit. Someone else. I can't think of someone else, but anyway, what?
The problem with Ryan Garcia is that he's already put himself in a pace scale that doesn't allow him to take a step backwards that far. So Linares is ranked 9 right now. Linares is coming off a big defeat, right, from Lomachenko. That was his last huge fight. He might have won a comeback fight since then, but we're talking about his last major fight. He took a knockout defeat.
Yeah.
Here's Steve. Why isn't this coming up on the screen? That's really terrible. It's not coming up. I've got the Steve Kim ESPN ranking, which isn't coming up on the screen for some reason. It's still frozen on that screen. Number 1 is Teofimo Lopez at 16-0. Number 2 is still Vasily Lomachenko at 14-2. Number 3 is Gervonta Davis, 24-0. Right? Now all three of these have Tubbas as their next fights, right? Ryan Garcia moved up 1 spot to number 4. Devin Haney moved down 1 spot to number 5. Luke Campbell moved down to number 6. Linares moves to 7. Fortuna moves to 8. Richard Comey moves to 9. And George Kambosos moves to 10. His last win was against Lisa.
And Camboso is that's the Australian kid that's trying to fight Lopez right now. Him and ESPN are trying to work out a fight for them too.
He's undefeated, right? Undefeated.
Yes.
Yeah, we got to find out his name.
So they're looking to fight. That's why, I mean, when you look at a lot of the rankings, a lot of the guys have taken defeats in that division that aren't in the top 5. I had the rankings up. I don't know what happened to my fucking box rec, but it's not working with me right now. But if you looked, there's not a lot of avenues for Garcia, especially what kind of money he's trying to demand from Golden Boy. And that's why, look, you want to put yourself in the fire, you're going to go in the fire. And Linares is next up. You want to make $1 million, $2 million. Hey, I'm King Rye. I'm the fucking big boy on the block. Well, then put on your big boy pants and start taking down some of these bigger names. And Linares is a big name, and he's on the downside of his career. So if you are the next one, which this Luke Campbell fight, pretty close on showing us that he is top 5. Ryan Garcia belongs in the top 10. Ryan Garcia's name belongs with all the rest of them right now. Then he has to look at some of these bigger opponents, and to me, Linares, I would pick Linares over Lomachenko. Lomachenko, even though he's coming off a defeat, is probably better conditioning, that has better conditioning still than hopefully Linares does at his age. Because Linares has been fighting a lot longer than Lomachenko, been in a lot more wars. So I just think the fight's right. That's right. If I was Garcia, I would lean more towards them two. Comey, Comey, I don't know if it brings the $1 million that he's looking for. If Oscar and DAZN want to pay $1 million to see him defeat Richard Comey, George Cabosos. That's Cambosos. That's the undefeated kid that's going to be fighting Teofimo Lopez. It looks like him and Lopez will be next. Javier Ventura. I mean, I just don't know if these names match up with what price Garcia's going to have to take a pay cut if he wants to go lower. If you want to stay, I'm the next big dog, well, then you're looking at that number 7.
There you go. Good show. I'm very proud of you. Very good. We managed to squeeze an hour and a half out of this show somehow magically with very few stories. It's good.
We had some big ones, though.
Pee-pee in the bedroom is probably my favorite.
The highlight of the show.
It was the highlight of the show.
Munguia Triple G will be a terrific fight. That's going to be a fight of the year candidate if that fight gets signed. It looks like Dazin's trying to put together DeAndrade and Saunders, correct?
Yeah.
The DAZN president called Eddie Hearn and said both of these guys are under our banner. Let's get them in the ring. So it looks like both of those men will finally get a break at a big fight here. You have Chocolito versus
Estrada. Gallo
Estrada coming up. Yeah.
Yep.
De La Hoya Mayweather 2 possibly this year. Looks all right.
Do you think would that be an actual fight or would it be a quote unquote exhibition?
And there'd be a WBC belt.
I think if Floyd's demanding his $100 million, he can't do an exhibition. This is gonna have to be legit. We're making it now. It's gonna be a fake belt, like it'll be a WBC COVID belt, but I think they're gonna do a 12-rounder. Yeah. They got to do something to sell it to the fans because both men can't make $100 million. Tyson and Jones only made $80 million, right? And both of these guys want to make 100. They're gonna have to sell this thing like
Hold on. Let me call him.
Here we go.
I'm calling. Let me get him on the line. Okay. Hello. Hi, Mauricio. Yeah, I'm calling you. Yeah. You were about to call me. Funny you should say that. Yeah. What would you like me to? Oh, okay. Well, that's original. I don't like it either, but based on your other belts, it's funnier. Okay, thanks. Okay, so this just in, I called Mauricio Suleiman for everybody on the show, and it'll be called the Roxas Scissors Paper Belt, made out of rocks, scissors, and paper.
And no spoon?
No.
Oh. All right.
There you go. Close enough. What fight are you most excited about, Andrew, for 2021?
Oh, shoot. That's a hard one. Because there's some good ones on, because we haven't even talked Joshua versus Fury.
Fury has got to be the biggest fight of the year.
That's going to be huge if that fight comes down the pipeline, too. So, yeah, 2021's starting to look good for us. We'll see how it all plays out. We've definitely had these teasers in boxing before, and then it just all fell
you're not going
apart.
to see those fights. There's no way we have Tyson versus Fury without a crowd. No way.
Well, the only thing I can say is that the bills haven't stopped coming in, and at some point, these guys need to make decisions. Now, you can make $20 million or you can make $10 million. You're still making fucking millions of dollars. So, some of these guys might have to bite the bullet and just make $10 million. It's still $10 million. their deals will be worked out. Once COVID is gone, you will get significant pay raises. All that could be in contracts. Who really knows? Canelo might be working on all IOUs for DAZN right now. Got to think about it before I say it. I'm like Sergio Mora. I got to put it under the telescope.
45. Well, I
got to put it under the telescope and really look at this thing.
Well, I learned about the 45-degree punch. Really? That's a thing. Yeah. That punch, it was a 45-degree punch. Okay. Good insight, Sergio. Miguel Antonio Barragan, what fight are you excited to see in 2021?
Well, officially announced, I would say, Chocolatito and Gallito. I'm going to geek out over that one. That one's because it's been official. It's already, papers. The ink is dried on the paper. So I'm looking forward to that one. But yes, unofficially, definitely Fury AJ, 100%. And if they can get it into a fucking like a dome kind of stadium, because last night they had 6,000 people in there, in the smaller arena where American Airlines Arena for Ryan and Luke Campbell. So if they have it in like a dome type of fucking humongous stadium, I'm pretty sure they can fit more than 6,000 in there and get more money out of it, even with them being spread out.
What I heard is that opened arenas are going to be back to capacity this year. Domed will not. So, yeah, and you're going to see a lot of I don't know. Caesar's Palace don't even have one anymore? Huh? They put the Celine Dion thing there.
No,
shit.
It's gone. It's been gone for. I think it's like another. No, I think it's an addition, like another.
Well, it's not the way it really worked out. The front of the building was. That's where they put the big thing. They put it out behind the pool. They stuck another building in there.
Yeah,
is what it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they have another building, another tower or something.
Yeah. It wasn't the Celine Dion Theater, which is really called whatever. They could
that didn't take the place of the outdoor fight? Okay, it was a building that took it.
Arena was a building that took its place.
Okay, all right.
Well, they took
the Win was thinking about doing an outdoor arena at one point, he might be thinking about that again. Uh-oh.
Whoa.
What is
Is
that?
another phone call?
Oh, I thought we were
another phone call?
Lee was cutting the show off.
I don't know. This just in, you're both wrong about the best fight for 2021. This just sent to me. It's from Dana White. It will be George St. Pierre versus Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Oh my god.
Ding-along, ling-long, or what'd you say?
Medvedev.
Okay.
Magvedev.
Did it come in a fax? What the fuck was that?
I don't know. That's the craziest sound effect ever for Dana. Like he just hacked my phone, and all of a sudden, I don't know how Dana pulled that off specifically. I mean, leave it Dana. We can't speak ill of Dana. He is a god. He wins for Ringer of the Year. Congratulations to Dana White, coming in strong for 2021 and retiring all the phone and sound effects jokes of people trying to call into the show. How is it not tight? Nobody has an outdoor thing, but the biggest thing going into Las Vegas is the Dome. The Dome will be able to house fights as well. It'll probably be the largest venue in Las Vegas when it's completed next year.
Is that Sheldon Adelson?
Yeah.
Is that
It's over by the.
Yep.
The Dome will be pretty tight. It'll have capability of 360-degree viewing around a stage. It's a pretty amazing. It's a pretty amazing thing.
That's the man Mark Davis burned. Mark Davis burned him out of the.
Spear. That's
he
what
went and said, "All right, fucker, I'll go build the Spear and take all your concerts."
Yeah, that's exactly what he did. And he made the best indoor venue of all time out by the largest, what do you call that, wheelie go-round thing ever.
Yeah, that Ferris wheel looking thing.
Ferris wheel, yeah. Whatever the hell that is. Is ours the biggest? Is the one in Vegas the biggest, or is it still the Eye in London?
I think the Eye in London is still bigger, I think.
Is it? It's not the size, it's how you use it. And as long as they don't call it a PP go-round, it's very large. That was a funny callback joke to end the show. Hey everyone, go to Fight Net Radio on social media. We're there all the time on social media. Certainly go check out Fight Fiend Migs on both the YouTube and the Instagrams. He updates with stuff there all the time. He even covers a little bit of MMA and a little bit of WWE as we get closer to WrestleMania season. And if you're asking yourself, why does your Vince McMahon sound surprisingly a lot like Bob Arum? Because they're the same. Duh. No shit. Be prepared when Vince McMahon dies for Vince McMahon from the grave. That's going to happen. Let me give you the future of 2021 because Vince is going to have a stroke if he doesn't get live audiences soon. I can't even imagine what the bloodbath is for them with their live events. They do how many live events a week? 5 live events per week with 2 different house shows going simultaneously. That's millions of dollars per week that they're losing revenue on. Jesus. Oh, well. That'll do it. Anything further, Andrew?
Nope, that's it. See you guys
Miguel.
next Sunday.
No, just looking forward to a prosperous 2021, everyone.
A prostate?
Prosperous. Prosperous.
Phosphorus.
Fight Night Radio. FightNetRadio.com with Andrew and Lee. Talking boxing, combat, sports, comedy, football, and everything kick-ass. All on FightNetRadio.com. Fight Night!